Daniel's right.
Yes, sir.
Weird. That's weird. Jill, we heard them, but I thought we were hearing them. Hey, is that the jail there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is your camera on?
Yes.
We're not seeing it for some reason.
I can see them, Judge. It was the same issue earlier this morning with Judge Hale for some reason.
All right, we're going to try and reconnect and see if that helps. Oh, so annoying. Hey. I just put him as a spotlight, so. Yeah, see if that helps. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Patrick Allen McDaniels.
All right, Mr. McDaniels, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You've got some a new charge of shoplifting. And then you've got several warrants out of Tucson City Court. Looks like you've got about 2, 3, 5 different files there that were all in warrant status for charges involving trespass, shoplifting, criminal damage, etc. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for you on this new charge and advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So, sir, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order that you be held on a $500 cash bond on all of these matters, order that you not return to the incident location. I'm going to appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. And if you're still in custody, you'll be seen by video on January 21st at 1:45. If you were to post that bond, you would need to get to Tucson City Court on February 6th at 2:00 in the afternoon, or warrants will issue. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am, but may I ask you something, please?
Sure.
I promise you, I promise you, I can go to all my court dates. I swear to God, I wake up every morning and I'll call my dad's and he'll take me to my court date. I promise, please.
I'm sorry, sir. We've got too much going on here. You got to stay in jail and go see the judge unless you post that
So
bond.
whenever I go to jail, tomorrow, I mean, when I go next to my court date, am I gonna be released then or what?
You'll talk to the judge about that. I don't think so. Did he? Oh, he did? Oh, can I get him back? Mr. McDaniels back? Is there a file? Sorry, Mr. McDaniels, you also had a justice court matter that I need to deal with. That was for a shoplifting. Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see a warrant. All right, so it looks like this is a 2023 case with a warrant for shoplifting. On that one, I'm going to order that you be held on a $250 cash bond. And I will appoint William Parvin to represent you in justice court. And you'll have a hearing on that one on Monday, the 13th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, sir, that's all. You're excused. Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
James Salzer.
Mr. Salzer, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of shoplifting, possessing drug paraphernalia, and refusing to provide your truthful name. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I see that you're being held on a probation violation out of Pima County Superior Court. I'm not seeing you on that today. You'll be seen separately in Superior Court on that probably sometime next week. On these new charges, these are going to be handled out of Pima County Justice Court. I'm going to order a $250 cash bond, order that you not return to the incident location, and that you possess no alcohol or illegal drugs. And you're going to have a hearing on Monday, January 13th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Justice Court, and I'm appointing Anna Dennis to represent you there. You understand, sir?
Yeah, sure.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
All right, sir, can I get your full name?
Juan Carlos Travino Castro.
Mr. Travino Castro, I'm seeing you this morning or this evening because you have a new charge of driving on a suspended license. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Sir, you're also being held no bond on an out of county probation violation. I'm not seeing you on that today. You're just being held without bond on that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to impose a $250 cash bond on this case so that you stay here and you're seen. On this matter, you'll be seen on Monday, the 13th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Justice Court to deal with this matter. And then once that's dealt with, then the other county can come and pick you up, okay? All right, very good. Good luck to you, sir. You're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, Sonia Renee refused.
Sonia Renee?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we continued her to tonight or tomorrow morning. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Jessica Carroll.
Mr. Carroll, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You were arrested on charges of criminal trespass and drug paraphernalia, and then you've got think 18 different cases out of Tucson City Court right now that are all in warrant status. I'll advise you of your rights now. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty for you at this time and advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So, sir, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order that you be held on a $1,000 cash or secured bond, ordering that you not return to any incident location. I'm going to appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. If you're still in custody, you'll be seen by video on January 16th at 1:45 with Judge Blue. If you were to post your bond, you would need to get to Tucson City Court on February 18th at 10 o'clock in the morning. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah. Hester,
All
you
right.
were on mute.
You understand?
Yeah.
All right, your excuse, sir.
Your Honor, we're currently grabbing Kane Walter. It may be a minute. Would you like to see Cloud?
Yes, thank you. Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
It's Kyla Helen Rose Cloud.
Ms. Cloud, I'm seeing you this evening because you were charged with unlawful possession of narcotic drugs and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And ma'am, it appears that you've got no felony history, at least. You are very likely eligible for a drug diversion program, where if you get to court and you participate in some drug treatment, you could have these felony charges dismissed before they're ever formally charged. Are you interested in that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
And the state's okay with you being released to pretrial, so that's what I'm going to order. So you're going to be released to their supervision. You need to check in with them when you get out. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them. No alcohol or illegal drugs. We're going to set that hearing. You need to get to this hearing to find out whether or not you're eligible for that program. It's going to be in 1 week from Monday. Sorry, 1 week from Tuesday. It's January 21st at 9 o'clock in the morning. You need to get to that hearing in Superior Court, or you're not going to be able to participate in that program, and you're just going to end up with felony charges. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And counsel, waive time on the PH.
Yes.
We'll make that February 25th. All right, ma'am. So you're going to get paperwork with all of that information on it, but just make sure you get to that hearing. Okay.
Yes.
All right. You're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hold on.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
John Hardy Elder.
Mr. Elder, I'm seeing you this evening on charges of burglary, possession of burglary tools, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you've got counsel seated with you for today's hearing. The state is asking that I impose a $5,000 bond plus pretrial services. I'm seeing high scores on the scales. Prior burglaries. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, he's lived in Tucson for 5 years and has ties to the community. He currently has a place to live with a friend. I'd ask you set the bond at $1,500.
I'll order a $2,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not return to the incident location. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for this has justice court dates in it for some reason. Okay, no problem. So his PH should be yeah. All right, so preliminary hearing date is scheduled for January 21st. Right, you understand, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're excused. Oh, no worries. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something.
Honor, it's the jail. The last misdemeanor, Payne Walter refused.
Okay. No problem. We will continue him to tomorrow morning. Hi, ma'am. Can I get your phone?
Barbara Lynn Mullins.
Is it happening also?
No, when I was here last time, they changed it to in the court system and in the jail system as Mullins.
Okay, happening was your name at some point?
And that was my married name over 5 years ago.
Okay. All right, so I'm seeing you this evening on charges of 2 counts of aggravated harassment and another count of aggravated harassment for having previous convictions. with the same offense and the same victim. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. State is requesting a $15,000 bond with pretrial services, given the repetitive nature here. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, she's lived in Tucson for 54 years and has ties to the community. She owns her own home away from the victim. I'd ask that you set the bond at $2,500.
I'll order a $7,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial services if that bond is posted. Monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. No acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, no contact of any kind with the alleged victim. Do not return to the victim's residence or contact him in any other way. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for January 21st. You understand all of that, ma'am? All right, you're excused. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Jeremiah Lopez.
Mr. Lopez, I'm seeing you this evening on a number of different matters. You were arrested on new felony charges of possession of a dangerous drug and possession of a narcotic drug. And then you've got warrants out of both Justice Court and many, many warrants out of Tucson City Court. We'll get to those next. As to all of these charges, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. On the felony, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. State's asking for a $2,500 bond with pretrial services. There's obviously a really high failure to appear score here. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, he's a lifelong resident of Tucson and has ties to the community. This appears to be a personal use drug offense. And I would also note that both of his prior felonies are also personal use drug offenses that appear to be nonviolent in nature. Given the failure to hear history, a $1,000 bond seems appropriate.
All right, I'll order a $1,000 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial, if posted. Monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't return to the incident location. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for January 21st. All right. So warrants out of Justice Court are for shoplifting from 2022 and drug paraphernalia criminal trespass from 2020. I did not think you. I can do that. Smart hearing is scheduled for January 21st at 9. Peter, is it gonna be okay that it's the same date as his PH?
It'll be fine, Judge, because I'll get his packet to review in the next couple days, and the decisions are made well in advance of the scheduled hearing.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So back to the Justice Court matters. I'm going to order $100 cash bonds on each of those two cases. Order that you not return to any incident location. I'm going to appoint Anna Dennis to represent you in Justice Court. And you're going to have a hearing on Monday, January 13th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon to deal with those warrants. All right. City Court. I've got 10 files here going back to 2018. The most recent one is September of 2024 for criminal trespass. On all of those matters, I'm going to order a $250 cash bond. And appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. If you're in custody, you'll be seen by video on January 17th at 1:45. If you were to post your bonds and be out of custody, then you need to be in city court on February 10th at 2:00 in the afternoon. You understand all of that, sir?
I do.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Hey, Kyla.
Whoops. There we go. I pushed scan by accident on something, but I think it ended up in the right place. You're good. Okay. Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
John,
Mr. McCallum, I'm seeing you this evening on new charges of unlawful possession of narcotic drugs and drug paraphernalia and misconduct involving weapons. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. State's asking for a $10,000 bond with pretrial services. It's like there was a pretty substantial amount of drugs involved and some history. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, from what I saw, he had no prior felony convictions. And so he's not a prohibited possessor. I understand what the charge is, but he has no felonies. He's not a prohibited possessor. He's lived in Tucson for 13 years and has ties to the community. He's currently helping support his grandson, his daughter, who is an adult, and then also his 6-year-old son. He also has congestive heart failure, which is something that he would like to be out of custody for to take care of. So for all those reasons, particularly the lack of prior felony conviction, I'd ask that you release him to pretrial services. If you're inclined to impose a bond, I ask that it be $2,500.
And it is the weapon in a drug offense, Judge. He had 3 firearms and a substantial amount of crack cocaine.
All right, I'm going to order a $7,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial services if that bond is posted. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for January 21st. But if you do post that bond, sir, you need to make sure you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney because that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You'll get a hearing at a later date. You've also got a warrant out of Tucson City Court that we need to deal with. This is for criminal damage and criminal trespass from 2023. I'm going to order release on that charge, but I'll note that you're in custody. I'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. We'll set your hearing in Tucson City Court for February 28th at 9:00. If you're out of custody, you need to get to that hearing or a warrant will issue for your arrest. If you are still in custody, they'll have a non-transport review for you. All right, sir, you understand?
yes, ma'am.
You're excused. Can I get your full name?
Richard Lee Pson Jr.
Mr. Polson, seeing you this evening because you have a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court for charges of dangerous drug possession, narcotic drug possession, and drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. These are charges from August 2nd of last year, and it looks like you were maybe involved in the STEPS program, and then that didn't work out, and so then you got indicted, and you were supposed to be in contact with pretrial services.
I was having a hard time with that because I wasn't familiar with the area,
Okay,
and I'd like to try it again. But I could if it's possible. I will get it done.
do you have stable housing right now?
I do not.
Right.
That was one of the problems.
Right, so you need to get in touch with pretrial services. They can help you with that. They can help you with that. They can help you get a phone. You just need to reach out to them.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
So
just doing my best. I
where
didn't know how it went.
where are you living right now? Are you on the street?
I was on at a motel.
Okay. And is that somewhere you can go back to?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, because you're gonna get, I'm gonna give you another chance, all right? I'm gonna release you to pretrial services supervision again. You're gonna get their phone number. And so I want you to reach out to them when you get a chance. I mean, probably not till today's Saturday, so probably not till Monday. But then I'm also gonna give you a court date for next week. That's gonna be with me in Superior Court. It's gonna be on Friday, the 17th at 1:30. That's your arraignment. If you don't go to that hearing, I'm gonna have to issue another warrant for your arrest, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I
Right.
understand.
Right, so I'm ordering release to pretrial, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and arraignment on January 17th at 1:30 in Superior Court. All right, sir, so I'll see you next Friday, on this coming Friday.
This coming Friday. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ma'am, can I get your full name?
Danielle Marie Roberts.
Ms. Roberts, I am seeing you this evening on a couple of different matters. You were arrested on charges of possession of a dangerous drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, but the state has moved to dismiss those charges without prejudice. So that is what I'm going to do, and you'll be released as to that matter. You've also got a warrant out of Tucson City Court for a DUI from 2021. Let me see what the last thing in your file looks like. 2023, February of 2023, your probation was extended so that you could get your proofs done of like your treatment and MAD panel and stuff like that. So did you know that that was still pending?
No, ma'am, not really. I've never been in trouble before.
All right. All right, well, now you know that DUI is still hanging out there and there's been a warrant that was issued. So it's quashed now. I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. And you need to get to this hearing that's going to be on February 6th at 9:30 in the morning. And that is with Judge Verena in Tucson City Court. So go to that hearing so that she can let you know what you need to do to get done with this old DUI and get that taken care of, okay?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You're excused.
Go have a seat outside. Go this way.
Or what's your last name? Or
Warren, are you the best, Smith?
This thing, I gotta give you first really bad as you go.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Samat Warren?
Mr. Warren, I'm seeing you this evening on charges of possession of a dangerous drug, possession of a narcotic drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated with you for today's hearing. So let's see. The state is okay with you being released to pretrial services supervision, so that's what I'm going to order. You need to make sure you get in touch with them on Monday. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And we're setting a hearing that you need to get to on a week from Tuesday. It's January 21st at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's going to be in Superior Court. You're going to find out whether or not you're eligible for a drug diversion program and find out what the next steps are, okay?
Okay.
And council waive time.
Yes, Your Honor.
So PH is February 25th. All right, sir. So make sure you get in touch with pretrial with your attorney at the public defender's office and then get to court on the 21st at 9 o'clock, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Thank
Eric, you're welcome. Wait, pull the chair. Sir, can I get your full name?
Juan Zapan?
Mr. Zapian, I'm seeing you this evening on charges of burglary in the third degree and possession of paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. State is asking for a $10,000 bond plus pretrial services. It's like he's on probation out of Maricopa County currently for burglary there. And there's some other felony history here as well. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, he's lived in Arizona for his whole life and has ties to the state. I'd ask you set the bond at 5,000.
I'll order a $7,500 cash or secured bond released to pretrial if that bond is posted. Monitoring or treatment is directed by pretrial. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not return to the incident location. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for January 21st. All right, sir, you understand?
Yeah.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.